like sucking, but I ain't gay.
Legit bad podcast.
Fuck those honkies.
Big ass. Welcome to Costco. I love you.
He really knows how to suck a wiener. And welcome, fellow truthers and conspiracy junkies, to another episode of White Rabbit. I am your host, Katillist Jones. Been bringing the heat all summer as it cools off outside. It's not going to cool off here because tonight I have on a whole fucking variety of banging ass motherfuckers to join the show. We got Matt Baker in the house, legit, and Tommy Prophet from Art of Revolution. What the fuck is up, everybody?
What's happening,
Boner.
man? It's a crazy world out there, isn't it?
It is. Matt, it's been a long time since we've talked. There's InfoWars has been shutting down. Do you still have your show over there?
Well, I still got my channel. Yeah, it's kind of weird because it's up in the air whether or not they're actually going to be able to steal the channels that everyone has. Supposedly in the I didn't really read the contract when, it's just like, hey, you can post stuff and be on our platform and this and that. So apparently, supposedly legally, they can't take our channels, but they're going to try. Just like they're going to try to take Alex's his X account. So even though it's Alex Jones, they're trying to say that's part of InfoWars, and they also want his X account too. And he was basically telling them it wasn't going to happen, but he actually started a whole new X account, which is like Alex Jones Live or something today, so he's starting to take it seriously. So, I can't, we've gotten used to it, but I just can't believe that they're actually going to go through with trying to actually shutting down a media operation of that magnitude over supposedly saying something that, what didn't happen.
You'd think if they were going to shut him down over what he said, every major news broadcast corporation in America would have been shut down a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I mean, talk about false defamation or whatever. I mean, the things that they've said about Trump and Russia collusion, the things that they said about the COVID vaccine and all that stuff that killed millions of people. I mean, they should be all sued into infinity. Over $1 billion they sued him for. Apparently, they actually tried to get $1 trillion. If you can believe that. So.
That's so wild. I can't believe people aren't more outraged about it.
No,
I mean,
it's like normal.
The implications of what this could do to everybody in the country is insane. And people are just like, well, he talked about the school shooting being fake, so I guess we can't go against it. But it doesn't really matter what he said, that they could sue him for that amount of money and take everything he's ever worked for something that you don't believe in anyway. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah. And the ones on the left, I mean, they think like CNN thinks they're safe or whoever. I mean, of course, they think they're carrying water for the system, so they're okay. But any day they could just come around and say, oh, no, you said this and you said that. And so therefore we own your company now. We own X now. And they could just literally own all companies everywhere. I mean, everyone's guilty of it at some point.
Maybe that's the goal.
Tommy Prophet and I were talking about it, that Alex Jones is just the first domino that's going to drop. And it's not just the people like us that are speaking anti whatever it is now, because eventually, they eat their own. And eventually people that are out there that have these outlets that are cheerleading for Alex Jones to get eaten, they're going to eat them eventually too. They're going to say the wrong fucking thing. Go ahead, Tommy.
I think that the ship's actually turning. So Alex Jones is getting a bunch of traction. The mainstream media organizations are falling off a cliff. And I think Alex Jones, just be patient. Patience is a virtue, and the ship's going to turn around. And Alex Jones the amount of traction the guy's gaining right now is absolutely unbelievable. He's not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, I think he's only going one way, and that's up. They may try to steal it, but the ship's going to turn. As long as he's patient and we let them die, that slow death that they're dying right now, then I don't see Alex Jones having any issues in the near future.
Well, and hey, any publicity is good publicity, right? He's getting more, like you said, gaining traction. He's getting more publicity now. I can't say that word for some fucking reason.
Tell
But
that
he's
to P.
getting
Diddy.
more. Yeah, well,
I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop.
Yeah.
You have nightmares about Puppy singing that song. Like Bieber's like, no, please stop.
Speaking of eating their own, why do you think that they're throwing him under the bus right now?
I don't know. I mean, my theory on all of these type of things is the investigation is the cover up. So
Yeah.
basically, P. Diddy had his operation. He probably threatened the wrong person, so they went in and they've sequestered all files, and so now they have control of the operation, and they can basically hide 99% of all the tapes they want, and then they can threaten other people with the other tapes. Just like look at Epstein. That whole thing goes down, and nobody has gotten arrested. Nothing's happened. Ghislaine Maxwell is about it, and she's barely even, like they didn't get anything out of her. None of the client list came out. It's none of them gone to jail. So basically, when they investigate something, they always say, well, it's an ongoing investigation and we take these things very seriously. So once they actually start the investigation, they basically grab all of the evidence and then they just put it in this barrier of you can't talk about it because it's an ongoing investigation. And then, it's national security, blah, 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 whatever.
and all I have to do is wait for a couple months till everybody forgets, and then it goes away, and then they don't have to do anything.
I could tell you why what happened with Diddy right now. That liquor company, they had a clause in it if he got charged with the federal crime that their contract in the lawsuit, because he filed a lawsuit and won. And in that lawsuit, if he winds up getting charged with the federal crime, they don't have to pay. We're talking about one of the biggest, the Seagrams family's a part of it. Like these are big, giant players he went up against. And so they hired a private investigator, and that's what blew this whole thing open.
It's kind of like Michael Jackson. Once they realized that they could get his entire catalog, they're like, oh, it looks like you overdosed. Sorry about that, bro.
I mean, that really sucks because he was playing hardball with them. He was going to flip the script on them. And I find it very interesting. What he wanted to do was buy one of these major media outlets and do exactly what the fuck Disney just did. And is basically like buying up rights to everything. He was talking about buying up comic book rights and Star Wars and all that shit. And it seems like Disney just took his playbook and went with it. And I don't know if you guys heard, my buddy Sean Hibbler, Hibbler Productions, has a whole theory that Michael Jackson faked his death. And there's a lot of evidence to back it up.
I'm waiting for somebody to fake their death. I mean, dude, it's pretty cool. I'm surprised someone hasn't faked their death and then just came back. Like how cool would that be? Like if you actually came back, like Jimi Hendrix or Bob Marley or something, like, yeah, mom, with the Babylon was too hard for me. They come for me hard. We have to go to Africa. We come back now. And he just comes back. You're like, whoa, Bob Marley's alive. That would be the sickest thing ever. I can't believe nobody's done it. I mean, so yeah.
Because they'd be immediately re-offed. They'd come back and they'd be like, no, you can't do that.
What do you think about that? What do we think about the Diddy guy? Like, people talk about clones. I don't know about clones, but that other Diddy guy, he looks like he's straight out of Africa. He's got that little weird face.
It's
that little
the Down
face.
syndrome Diddy, dude. It doesn't look anything like him. It's crazy.
It's like everything's like shrunken. All his features are like shrunken into this little tiny face. Like you see those guys.
It looks like a bad Photoshop.
Like yeah.
Or like an AI picture of
can't
Diddy.
even speak English, just judging by his facial features. It just looks like one of those guys you would say they just slapped a suit on him and just like dragged him out.
He does more of one of these. I am Diddy.
Yeah, that's what he looks like. He talks like. If you look at that guy, he doesn't look like an American African. He looks like an African. That guy looks like he
eats the pets of the people that live there.
He does. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Do you guys remember one of the very first seasons of The Simpsons? They had an episode that was all about baseball, and Daryl Strawberry got hooked on cough syrup, and his whole head like blew up. That's what P. Diddy looks to me like, that freaking Daryl Strawberry that they made fun of in The Simpsons.
The one with the weird little head, or the real, or the more normal P. Diddy.
The new one with like the weird head, where like all his
the head's bigger and then everything's like small. Yeah.
Yes, and I don't know
All
how
I've seen
anybody
is that one
up on it.
mugshot though. The one that looks all weird like and downsy. I've only seen that
Yeah,
one where
that's-
and it's just that one mugshot. Every time else it looks more or less like him. I don't know. It's Diddy. I've never listened to a single fucking song he's ever done. I couldn't really pull him out of a lineup. He has sunglasses on all the time. I don't know. But that
For real?
one definitely
back in
doesn't
the
look
day,
like
he
him.
was off the hook. It was badass. Like in that was the 90s or whatever. I mean, everyone was smoking weed and it was kind of cool. You know, I was down with it back then. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, but
Name some
Biggie was
songs.
telling
What are
us,
some songs?
uh,
Well, I tell you won't stop, and then did he do? What was the one he did with Mace? And then he did
well, he's got the one I'll be missing you.
yeah, that was
He has a bunch of club shit, and he's
those
behind a lot.
some really big songs. I forget. I haven't learned them so long, but
But
they were
yeah,
pretty chill back in the day. We were like, dude, Diddy's cool, man. And then he started with the stable, and he started bringing out the rappers, and he had all the up and coming guys that he was signing and stuff like that. And he was creating this like vibe and everything. And you know, it definitely wasn't as awake
He
back then.
created a vibe.
Yeah,
especially after
lots of lube, and you.
But
can
yeah,
create your own vibe.
he had the MTV show too, where he brought up he like just found random talents and made groups out of them. Like that's how Danity Kane came about.
Mhm.
And then, but like I was saying, like Biggie was trying to tell us, have you guys seen the video that's been
the
going
Biggie
around?
Smalls. Yeah, when
Yeah,
when
with
Biggie was
the
with him and all that.
lyrics. Yeah, with these like where he was like, did he kidnap your kids, fuck them in the ass, throw them off the bridge? That's how
Really?
it is.
He says that?
Yes, he
What
does.
the fuck? Oh my god, I didn't realize that. That's crazy. Well, we're doing pretty good on my channel over here. We got 358 people watching.
It
Right
does.
on.
Repost it.
Live on X. Am I live?
Come on, let's go. It's gonna be fun.
No, Tommy, you are not on X. It says that you must have a premium account, and so apparently, after you paid your thing, we were not able to put in the new streaming information.
Okay.
I don't see you
What
on
is- what is-
Rockfin
what's-
live either, dude. I don't see
Oh,
you on
for real?
Rockfin at all.
Yeah, we're not.
What's your X? What's your X? Catalyst.
I
It's,
don't.
I thought
Go
you
ahead,
had-
Tommy.
It's mine. It's what the hell is it here? Let me get it here. It is. Let me get back to it.
I was
All
trying
right,
to find the chat so I could talk shit to people in there, but it's not on Rockfin.
It's
That's
at,
interesting. Tells me I'm live on Rockfin on my StreamYard, but I don't see it on Rockfin.
Did you hit that red button?
Let's see.
Yeah. If I hit it again, it'll end the stream.
We can't see your comment, Corey. I can see it. I can see the comment. Corey's comment right there. I'm seeing comments over here on my end, just from people don't know you guys really. I don't even know. I don't even know a lot of these guys. But
All right. Well, sorry for my listeners. I mean, now you're hearing this later. Sorry about that, but I'll go ahead and post this immediately when we're done so that they'll get this, because I did say we were going live. Now I feel bad. But yeah,
The same thing happened to us tonight, dude. It happens.
Yeah,
Live
technical
shit.
difficulties. You guys had a guest cancel, right?
Yeah, I had everything set up, and it's just one of those things. Scheduling fucking sucks, and at the last minute, no show, no call, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you texted me right after. It was like an act of God. You texted me, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, that was
do
perfect
it.
too, because I was hanging on to it for like 20 minutes. I was like, oh, I gotta text Joe. And then I did. So if I would have waited, or if I didn't wait, you would have already said, oh man, I already got a show tonight.
You wouldn't
so
have heard
I-
back from me till tomorrow.
Yeah. So I actually want to get into this thing, and Tommy sent me the actual article. I'll try to pull it up. But they have made it legal now for the military to use deadly force on civilians.
That wasn't already legal.
no.
not really. I mean, technically not. No. You know, posse comitatus are not even supposed to be on really doing operations on soil at all. You know.
Yeah, right.
What's funny is, well, technically, you know, at least legally, if you ever get somewhere and you actually stay alive, and you know, theoretically, but they've just pulled out all the stops now. But the funny thing is, you know, my ex-girlfriend, she's like a big liberal, and she's, you know, constantly like, Trump's gonna do this, and Trump's gonna do that, and he's gonna lock people up, and he's gonna do this, and it's like they literally do every fucking thing that they claim he's gonna do.
My
It's like-
vagina.
They're like, well, they're just like, he's gonna lock up people in the media. I'm like, tell me one person on the left that's ever been locked up for a riot, or tell me one person that's ever been locked up for their speech, or ever locked up for, you know, any of that shit. The Black Lives Matter and all those abortion people, they go into the Capitol and they fucking have their big old hooplas and their riots. The Palestine people are like out there shaking the gates, popping fireworks at the White House. Nothing happens. Nobody, no care, no insurrection there, you know. And it's like there's just zero impact for their side, but yet they're like, oh my God, you're going to start using lawfare against it. It's like you've taken down Alex Jones, Steve Bannon, Owen Schroyer, freaking Roger Stone. All these people just get jacked, let alone Trump. You've just got him in constant threat of his life. And you're like, what if he starts like putting people in jail? And meanwhile, they're just like, send them all in jail. And they're just like crazy, mad lunatics. And they just basically do everything that they say we're going to do.
Obama suspended Posse Comitatus in 2014.
Did he?
Yeah, and I think it was just one of those things that kind of was in one ear out the other, and I don't know if it's been reinstated yet. And if I was, so go to paragraph 3.3, Catalyst.
All right, let me go ahead and share this.
And I think it's subsection C, which is, so this is a DOD 5240.01. And this is the update. They just updated it yesterday with paragraph 3.3 added in. And then subsection C is use of lethal force on civilians. And it's crazy what they say in there. If there's any danger in paragraph 3.2, they talk about any type of danger or whatever, then they're allowed to, the DOD basically says it's okay to use force, and then they change it if there's any kind of danger. They upgraded the use of force to lethal or with great bodily injury. Here we go. So we go to it's down a ways, paragraph 3.3. So it's, right there, levels of authority.
So now did they just do this? When did this actually go into effect?
Yesterday when everybody was sleeping, but
well, no, it wasn't yesterday, because I heard Alex Jones complaining about it last week, and to be honest, when he said it, no offense, he's always like martial law, you know. So I was like, oh, here we go again. And then it's the story actually really started getting like some legs, and it's like literally they're like, Trump's going to be a dictator and he's not going to leave office. It's like, hey, douchebag, he already left office.
There's a date attached to this. Hold on.
So you said.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was kind of
no. I want to be correct, but I'm pretty sure it was a few days ago that he was talking about, and he was mad today that nobody listened to him. It had to be Ron Paul to bring it up before anybody would actually pay attention.
If you look on there, go ahead and read subsection C, assistance in responding with assets.
I can't. It's too tiny for me, and my eyes aren't good enough to read that.
DOD response. So that's high yield explosive. So it's so subsection A is provision of personnel to support response efforts for civil disturbances, which may also require presidential authorization, which the Biden administration authorized it. So
okay, so that's just something that the administration authorized as of right now, but an administration coming in can immediately get rid of this, correct?
Yeah, they put out an update probably a few days ago, then authorized it yesterday is what I think it is. But
here's the thing: they'll have power after the election. So if you're looking at the betting polls and basically what's going on, there's a good chance that they won't be able to have enough fake votes to steal it this time.
Yeah.
So if Trump does win, they're not going to just be like, oh well, Trump won. They're
No.
gonna freaking do every single thing. They're gonna do J6. They're gonna do they're gonna have their own J6, and then they're like, "Well, you did it. It's okay now because we're doing it." And then they're gonna be like, "Oh, he's got to go to jail," and then they're gonna like, "Oh, he's a foreign power," and all these different things. They said they already wrote into law a few weeks ago, I think, that another law. I can't remember what it was, but it was is if the government sees that there was too much foreign interference, that they can just say the election's null and void. So they'll just say, "Oh, Trump got in because of Russia. Russia got Trump in," and then they'll just say, "Nope." And then they'll have all the TV come out and be like, "Yeah, he was colluding with Russia," and we'd be like, "No way, this is bullshit." And then they'll just be like, "Oh God, here they go, the crazy Trumpers again." And then
Too much interference sounds pretty
then-
subjective to me.
exactly. And then they'll either wind up something or do their own false flag. And then they'll be like, "Oh, well, now just so happened we just signed that thing into law. The good job that we can start murdering people on soil now. That came in handy. Just so happened." I mean, what other reason? It's not like something's popping off right now. I mean, everything's fairly, I mean, besides the open borders, everything is fairly mellow and normal. It's nothing that like hardcore groups of cops couldn't go in and break up. Even these like gangs in Aurora and stuff like that. If you had a couple of SWAT teams, you could go in there and break that fucking shit up. No
Most of the action is all happening online. That's where all the big talkers are. It's online, not in real life.
Well, what do you think the Shocktober event's going to be? Or did we already see it? I don't. Was it Walt's kid coming out publicly that he was getting diddled by his teacher?
They covered that shit up really good, bro. Really. Have you guys?
Do you know who Ian Carroll is?
He's
He's kind of big on X. He's big on TikTok. He's hilarious dude. He's pretty big. Anyway, he does these like investigative reports, and he was one of the first people to actually break that. And then later on found out some information saying it looked like maybe it was fake. But then the guy who actually originally put the story out actually got him in touch with his source, and he interviewed the guy off record. And this guy's legit. He's like, "I don't know, dude. The guy sounds pretty legit to me." Like he said, he talked to him for like an hour, and the story sounded totally legit, not like rehearsed. And the guy was like, sounded like a nervous person that was like telling the truth, not like some made up story that he was just trying to.
Dude, I hate these ones so much because I want to believe it, and I kind of do. I could totally see that with Tim Walz's creepy fucking face. But then you gotta turn it around and be like, anybody can say that about anybody. I mean, that happened to Trump. It's happened to everybody. So you do have to kind of step back for a second and be like, let's make sure this is valid first, because I don't want them turning that shit on me anytime soon. So
with allegations during COVID when they were burning the shit down, I remember allegations about, because he was the governor, I think at the time, or was he governor? He was governor during COVID, yeah. And the shit that they were
nobody
doing
knew who he was before a month ago.
No, he went. Well, somebody was. There was. I can't remember. I'll have to find it, but it was. There was essay allegations back in 2020 when they were burning Minneapolis to the ground.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Can you guys hear me okay? Because apparently they can't hear me over there. Maybe it's an artifact of being on the other stream.
Whoa, what the hell? Brad just jumped over into another dimension. What the fuck is going on?
I know.
I didn't know you guys were in the same room.
That
Holy
was
shit.
crazy. Hey,
I should have
people at home,
smoked.
Can you really not hear me at all? Because I think you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Everyone's telling me I'm sitting on my mic, so they said
Maybe deep throat it. Get up into it and kind of a little bit.
I gotta
Let's try
figure
that.
this X thing out, so I don't know why it's not letting me go live. God damn.
It's weird.
It's because Matt Baker's on here. They're like, no, we're not.
No,
We're not doing
shut
that.
it down. Shut it down. Shut it down.
They're like, look
I
at
don't
his
know.
dreads. You can't let him on screen. Stop it. Take him off.
Still no audio. Oh man, bummer. These guys can't hear me. Oh well.
That really sucks.
Yeah, but they can hear you.
I
guys.
was-
Somebody
it
just
was
needs to
bugging me
repeat
'cause I
everything
didn't-
I say.
I didn't think Tommy's microphone was working, and sure shit, I went down there and it wasn't plugged in, or it wasn't on the right setting.
Oh,
So we're good. now.
well, hey, can you get it going? And I'll just reshare your stream if you got it. You got it going?
My ex, not yet.
All right.
I'm
Well,
waiting on it.
I feel
What if
bad for you guys.
What if I end this and start a new stream, and we'll put his X information in? We'll just start a new stream.
I don't understand. Oh,
well,
stream it in the beginning?
Yeah, from his account, because I think we need to get a new stream key or whatever, because he just upgraded his account.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's up to you guys. I mean, whatever.
I think it's fine. We're good. We'll post this later. I feel bad for the people watching on your end.
Just tell everybody I apologize to them that there's a glitch that you guys can you tell them before I hang up on them?
Yeah, he's apologizing to you guys. There must be some sort of a glitch, and you guys will be able to catch this on my podcast, on Legit Bats podcast, on the Art of Revolution, and I'm also going to give this to Matt Baker so he can post it on his streaming platforms as well. So you guys will be able to hear this.
I can run it on Twitter or on Instagram too if you guys want.
Yeah.
How dare you dead name X?
So I apologize.
Yeah, we're good. We'll keep rocking. Tommy, if you want, I'll go ahead and make this go live on YouTube right now.
Yeah, we just got to be YouTube friendly. That's all. Go ahead, shoot it.
All right, we're going.
Send it.
All right. Anyways,
there we go.
What were we talking about here? We totally we totally got sidetracked. Hey, Jen, did you notice that I brought back the intro that has you in it?
I heard it this time. I didn't know that you didn't have it, but I did hear it.
Yeah, I retired that, and then I had Sam Elliott for my new intro. It looked dope, and it was all cool and shit. And then he came out in support of Kamala Harris, so I had to yank it immediately.
Sam Elliott did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
To be fair,
yeah.
So did Jeff. What's his fucking the dude? The Big
Bridges?
Lebowski, Jeff Bridges. Yeah, he was like part of the White Dudes for Harris shit. I'm like, oh my god, the dude does not abide at all. Not even a little.
Jeff, not cool.
He's always been a Democrat like that, though.
I know.
That's just like
A
his
lot of
opinion,
actors have,
man.
though. A lot of people in Hollywood are Democrats.
Yeah. I mean,
I
De
think
Niro's
credit
been a
him.
thing for so long that you every time you look at De Niro now, you just think bitch. But I remember when he first came out against Trump, I was like, "Oh, come on, no!" And then he just kept.
I don't even care if somebody like that's like against Trump, but also against Kamala. I'm like, fair enough.
Yeah,
but when you come out and you're like, fuck Trump, but I love Kamala's titties, it's like, fuck you. I don't like
What
you
about
anymore.
the secret? What about the secret Trump voters that are openly never Trumpers, and then but deep down they're all going to vote for him? I personally think
I was hoping they would pick someone else, but it's too late now. So Trump's in, and that's the only other option we've got at this point in the game. Like, I definitely wasn't happy with the warp speed. I'm not happy with Israel, infinite money, infinite war. There's a lot of things out there, but I honestly my whole thing is they basically ran a coup on Biden. Biden said he was not going to leave. Remember, he's like, I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, that was crazy, dude.
And then he gets sick, and then they put out the fake. Even Nancy Pelosi was saying it was like a fake letter. Didn't even have the
Come
letter.
on, man.
Come on, man. He didn't even have it. Yeah, he didn't even have the his signature or the letterhead. And then he comes back after he's in the hospital. God knows what they did to him. He's like, he's out.
They cloned him again.
And then they just that's the real Biden. And then they just put camel toe in, and it's like if we can have a president just removed and installed and moved and installed, and then have the media just create a giant shitstorm for like 2 or 3 months, and then have a brand new president, that's going to be pretty much the end of any And
Well, that's exactly what happened. She had the worst fucking rating of like anybody, and nobody liked her. And then she becomes the de facto nominee without any delegate votes, and all of a sudden everybody's all up her ass and wanting to lick her cooch and stuff. You know,
No,
the people,
they just want to
the
do that
people who
because she's
haven't
not
already.
Trump. She doesn't
Right,
actually
right.
say anything at all. She doesn't have the charisma that Obama had. I'm not saying Obama is so great, but she doesn't have that, and she pretends to. She tries to do the hand mannerisms and just talks in circles for
And says, right?
I don't know, an hour, however long the debates are.
Hey, we're getting we're
Yeah.
Dude,
But
she's
when
one
you're
of the.
when
We're
you're
not even
able,
talking.
Donald
You guys-
Not even politicians. She's one of the dumbest people I've ever seen on TV. Period.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean. You know.
Hey Matt, we're getting some of your people on here. It looks like that's cool.
Oh, that's
Significance
cool.
of the passage of time.
Nice. Yeah.
That's
Everything
crazy.
she says, it's like ask, you're like, hey, what is a boat? A boat is a boat, and you have a boat, and you get
And
in
there's
a boat.
water.
And if you have a boat, then you're in a boat. And if you're not in a boat, then you don't have a boat. Like, okay, thanks for clearing that one up. You know, it's like,
And if you
every
don't vote for me,
answer
you
is
ain't
within-
black.
Every answer is within
Like she
within the
ain't.
name. It's like, what's the border? The border is bordering the things that border, where there's a side of a border and another side of a border, and there's a border. So
It's like
So-
she's talking
That's
to
every
third graders.
conversation, though.
It is like she's talking to third graders every time she opens her mouth. But to be fair, when I look around at Walmart, I'm like, you know what? That might be what they need. That sounds about right for these
Yeah,
people.
it's idiocracy. Have you heard her talking about I forget what she was talking about. I think it was Jupiter and Earth, maybe. And she said, Jupiter is a big planet. Earth is a small planet. And Jupiter's really big. And Earth is small. And she said that same thing on repeat for 10 minutes.
She says the same thing about Russia and
And she
Ukraine.
does it
all the
Russia's a big
time.
country.
Yeah.
School buses are
32
yellow.
Days. 32 days. And that's 32 days.
Dude, so it's so easy to make fun of this bitch for obvious reasons, but then you think about it and you're like, there's a good chance she will be our president. And I don't mean voted in or anything legal. I just mean there's a good chance they'll tell us she's our president. Can you fucking imagine that?
That's what I'm saying. That's why at this point, like, say what you will about Trump. Trump has a legitimate giant following. He is a man of the people. The people do love him. But they can just now just like create a media storm and just be like, this is your guy, and it's or your girl or whatever, or your non-binary robot person. And then they just install them. That's why at this point in the game, we just cannot let this stand. Like I said, I have my problems with Trump, but at this point in the game, until the election's over, I'm just full bore pushing the Trump train.
They are doing that.
It's
So
all bad shit.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Brad Binkley from the propaganda report, but he's been boots on the ground down in Georgia, going to Kamala rallies and Trump rallies and being super middle of the ground, just reporting what he sees like a real journalist. It's unreal, dude. He goes to the Kamala rallies. They can't get in unless you're like vetted to get in. And they bus these people around. Like from what he's seen, they're bussing people around to go to her rallies. He goes to a Trump event. There's people out there with food trucks and merch booths, and it actually looks like a real rally, and they can go in and see it, and it's fine. But he goes to Kamala rallies, and it's like a closed circuit. You have to have a pass to get in.
Someone asked him, someone
It's
said,
weird.
how did you know we were doing this today? How did you know where we were going to be?
Because they don't post it online.
They were shocked that he knew. That's
That
wild.
part
Wow.
just in
I
itself
just got
is
back from the
weird.
Coachella, Trumpchella. I just did the Trumpchella one out here in
Oh,
California.
you went to it?
Yeah,
Nice.
it was
We went to the
badass.
Reno.
Trumpchella.
We went to the
Trumpchella,
Reno
they're
one.
calling it Trumpchella.
There-
It was
There was
tremendous.
so many people there that the first ballroom filled up before we were even able to enter into the building. And then they opened up a bunch more rooms with huge screens. Those all filled up. It was insane, man. The way that the people were just wrapped around. I've never seen the Grand Sierra Resort have that many people, and they have really big events there. And I did want to say, Joe, do you guys have your microphone cable fully plugged in? Because every time you guys talk, it sounds like my high school bus driver.
It might just be cutting it off. Like, does it sound like that now?
It like clips a little bit. The sound sounds
Yeah,
like it's like a little.
Yeah, there's just clipping, but we can totally make out what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
not affecting
it's
the
fine.
conversation.
But yeah,
Let's
actually,
see.
go to my X account. It's actually a pretty classic video that I did. We took video all day and all the different interviews and stuff like that, and I chopped it up into like, everybody wants something short, so I cut it up into like a 6-minute, sizzle reel. It's pretty badass. It's like got the line, it's got me getting in, it's got us on the bus. I'm like interviewing all these people. There's like these stoners and there's these hot chicks. And
You put it out already?
Yeah, it's on my page. It's
Son
on
of a bitch. We got one of Tommy doing the same thing in Reno. I just
Oh
haven't
yeah.
seen it yet.
Did you
Yeah,
guys
no,
see
he's
it?
really good.
Kamala get annihilated by Brett Baer?
Oh yeah,
That was
surprising. Yeah, I was surprised Brett actually came through this time.
well, he's not an easy interviewer, no matter who it is, really. But I mean, he went hard on Trump. But man, I was embarrassed to watch it. I had to switch the channel. I guess I'm an empath because she was getting annihilated so bad. It was embarrassing. I had to watch something else. It was horrible. Worst interview.
Damn,
ever.
I would have enjoyed the shit out of it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
I
The
just
only
can't
thing I know
believe
about it,
that she hasn't at this point. Like everyone knows, like what are they doing when she goes on the show and they go, okay, because she keeps saying, "I'm going to change everything. I'm going to change." Everyone's like, "But you've been in power." But it'd be very easy for her to come out and say, "Look, I'm not running the ship. I'm second mate captain. Biden's running the ship. I'm trying to help. If you're a commander, then I'm lieutenant. Of course, I'm not." Running the army. I'm just here to help facilitate things. So of course I'm going to do things different. But every time they ask her the question, she's like, there's nothing I would change. Everything's great. But then somehow or another, everything's going to change. And then it was a big shit show. And everyone's like, Kamala, what are you doing? Why didn't you tell them that you were going to change? So they ask her again on Colbert. He's like, okay, Kamala, what would you change? And she just goes right back to, I'm not going to change anything again. Like a total
her favorite thing.
Doing?
First of all, is my mic still clipping? I changed some settings in StreamYard. Does it sound better?
Sounds pretty good.
It sounds fun.
Okay. So her favorite line for this campaign so far that I've seen is the same tired old playbook. Did you hear her response to that? I can't remember what Trump was saying about her, or somebody was saying about her, but the only response she had was same tired old playbook, and then continued on her way. And it's like, that's not an answer to the question. You're deflecting. Yeah. What are you doing?
Hey, one of her
actually does make sense too. You can trace what she's saying back to her father's Marxist teachings.
Oh yeah.
Aren't pointing out the fact that her father is a Marxist teacher and he's white and her mom is Indian, but the people on the left are calling her black. I don't get it. They can't define what a woman
black
is. Now they can't define what black is, obviously.
Well, her dad does, to be honest, her dad does look a little black. But did you see, supposedly in her book, she's like somehow or another hanging out with her grandmother, who's not even her grandmother, and their grandma and this woman in the picture was dead before she was born. The one she's pretending is her black grandmother is like not even her. It's like Photoshop. Oh, look at my black grandmother. And like, she's dead. Like she was dead before you were born. How are you hanging out with your gram over there, Camel toe?
You guys know Yuri Bezmenov? Bezmenov. I was
ideological subversion.
He was, absolutely. What Katillist just said, it trips me out that he said that, because it's the same playbook that he came over here and said, this is what they're going to do to you. This is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do. And she's fucking doing the shit that he said they were going to do in the late 70s and early 80s. He said this,
right? And like her whole statement, what can be unburdened by what has been, apparently is to do with was in the Great Leap Forward. They were doing that. Basically, they got rid of the 4 olds, like old language, old words, old history, and so they basically just said, "Look, we're just starting fresh. We don't care about history anymore. Everything's new. We're in a completely new world. Roles of women, roles of people, roles of government. It's all brand new. We don't have to use the old playbooks at all. It's all brand new." Sounds familiar?
Every single leftist revolutionary type of shit like they have here, as soon as they win, they just go ahead and unalive all the people that got them to where they're at. no more revolutionary stuff. We don't need that anymore, like Mao did to the Red Guard. And, I mean, it's just going to be just like Lenin, the Bolsheviks did, and the Jacobins, all of them. They just get rid of the people who helped them get to where they are because they don't need revolutionaries anymore. So
exactly, they're going to get rid of the ones on the right and the left. So the people on the left think that they're all great, but once they get the power in, they don't need people. They want just the go along, get along people. The people that they put them through COVID, they put them through Black Lives Matter, and nothing got them riled up. They're their guys. They're the ones that like these guys will put up with anything. They'll put up with masks. They'll put up with kneeling. They'll kiss boots. These are our guys. They don't want either side of the far right. Don't you love how there's no such thing as the right wing anymore? Have you noticed that? There's left, and then it's the far right. It's like there's never like, oh, he's a right wing. Everyone's far right if you're not left.
And meanwhile, I say this on our show all the time. I think like the majority of people are somewhere in between both of those, but the two squeaky wheels on each side are the ones that get the most traction on any coverage or videos or anything like that, when most people are kind of like us, where we're just kind of like, leave us alone, stop being retarded, and let me say gay and faggot, and we'll be fine. Like, just stop.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, you just got us struck. All the major revolutions, and especially communist revolutions, the percentage of the people that were actually Bolsheviks, or it was everybody's really center right. I mean, for the most part, but that small group, I mean, the Jacobins or Jacobites, whatever, in the French Revolution were about 1% of the or 0.1% of the population or something like. So were the Bolsheviks. They were tiny percentages, created these massive communist revolutions.
So we're told.
I mean, that's the way it looks, and they're the. I mean, everybody hates on the Germans, but the Bolsheviks, the communists in China and Russia murdered hundreds of millions of people. They put hundreds of millions of people in concentration camps and slave labor. The Chinese still do it. Russia probably does too.
Hey guys, check out my new shirt. What do you think about my new shirt? It's pretty sweet. Have you guys seen those signs that they have, like what down here in Southern California? Like if you go down the freeways, like by the wall or whatever, they'll have like this sign like without the donkey. And it's just like
it shows
his family across, and like the kid's literally flying in the air on the actual legitimate sign. And so I had the donkey in front, but one of my buddies actually thought it would be funnier with the donkey like carrying the kid, so I went with that.
Is that Kamala riding the donkey?
Yeah, she's unburdened by what has been.
That's awesome, bro. Where do you get that at?
Well, I could get it at my store up on X there at the top. If you go to my new website. Viral news.
So for everybody listening to this right now, go ahead and scroll down and click on my link that says everything Matt Baker, and you will be able to go to his store.
And follow me over there too. I'm huge on X. It's at
awesome.
slave_2_liberty. They were having a bot purge today. I lost 3,000 followers today. That was pretty rough.
Well, that's a good one.
You did something right.
If they're bots, though,
if they truly are bots. But then I went down in my comments, and there's still freaking bots there. I'm like, well, which freaking bots are you getting rid of? Like, there's this one that keeps posting the same stupid thing. It's always like, so-and-so is such a great person. They can help you with your investment strategies. It's like always like, I'm just here to tell you how happy I am with, so-and-so and what they've done for me in my investment strategy. It's like, couldn't your bot, can't Grok figure out if you use the word investment strategy or my pussy in bio that might be a bot? Just might be. But yet they just keep, it's on every day, just multiple comments. And they just did the purge. And so who knows? I probably have like
every time they say they did a bot purge, I don't believe them, because if you go to at least on Instagram, if you go to your requests, hidden requests, there's like 150 fucking bot requests in there that are still there. All the profiles are still there.
Bots that have just been doing bot activity multiple times on my page are still there. Elon.
What's crazy is Apple is throwing the hammer at me recently, and unsubscribed a bunch of people. And I thought something was weird because after I had Brandon Jill Williams on talking about financial freedom and stuff like that, and like the very next episode, it was thousands less. And I was like, whoa, that's weird. Did I piss people off or something?
No.
But then the very next episode was the same thing, the same thing, and the same thing. And I'm like, holy shit, it's like significant. And I can tell what episode it happened at. And so I posted something about it in this group chat that I'm in. And so people went and they were like, no shit, dude, I had to search you and start following you again.
Yeah, and that
Weird.
happens to me quite a bit too. There's a few people that I haven't talked to in a while or haven't seen. Something will happen. I'll want to DM them, and I'll be like, go DM them. I'm like, what? And then I have to. It's like, would you like to follow back? And I'm like, follow back? I've been following this guy for years. And so then other people tell me that happens too. So it's kind of a convenient way if you think about it. Like, oh, it's a bot purge, and they can just like, you lost 3,000 followers, so you don't really know who you just got disconnected from. Like, I can't go through and like figure out, who I'm not getting feeds from now. And so as a result, they can just like pull plugs on people in the matrix and just be like, yoink, 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 3 or 4 major nodes that you're getting information through. And they do that at strategic points, and they can throttle down the vibe a whole lot, specifically, especially using AI and stuff like that. They can figure out where all of the, where the nodes are and who's putting out the information and who's spreading like the stuff that's hurting their narrative.
I figured that out on TikTok. I've never started a TikTok page. Most of our online presence is Instagram. That's about it. And I started a TikTok page just so I could open TikTok videos because they wouldn't let me if I didn't have a TikTok. It's fucking annoying. So I started one and started uploading a couple of videos. I get 6 videos in, and it was one about cloud seeding. And it was an actual ABC7 news report, like an actual news report of cloud seeding. And TikTok took it down and said it was misinformation and shame on you. I'm like, what? So I did the whole like request thing or appeal, whatever you do, and they ended up putting it back on. But then the very next video I put up, it was up for 20 minutes and it still said a big 0 views. You can't tell me that's not throttling. That's retarded. Even for somebody with 1 follower, somebody's going to get a view on that. So to go back 20 minutes later and see a video that has 0. No, it would be weird enough if there was like 2 views, but it was a fat 0 on the next video. And I'm like, you can't tell me they're not fucking with that. Like, that's
stupid.
What? Excuse me for just a second, guys. We'll be right back. Sorry.
You're good, Tommy. Matt, I was just thinking about that when you were talking about just pulling the plug on people. I haven't seen or heard anything from your girl Allison in forever. Is she still doing stuff?
Well, there's actually a reason for that. She pulled the plug on herself.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense. Was she just?
Well, she got a job at OAN, and she was actually like doing, and then she was doing a daily show, and then at a certain point, OAN's been going through a lot of stuff too. They're getting sued, they're losing money, and at a certain point, they had to downsize. But to be honest, she was kind of getting sick of doing the show anyway. There's a lot of teleprompter reading on that show. So I know she probably would rather have a little bit more of a freestyle format. No offense to the OAN folks over there, because I'm going to be on OAN next week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, with Ivory Hecker. And I'm actually going to be on Harrison Smith, InfoWars, American Journal tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Pacific, talking about the movie documentary that I'm in. I'm not featured in it, but I'm in it. I don't know if I'm featured, but I am in it. Maybe I'm featured. I don't know if it's called featured, but I'm not like the main guy. But I'm in the documentary, talking about the border invasion, and a couple of the people that we have down here that are watching the border, and people in Texas watching the border, and all of the people that have been like citizen journalists finding out what's going on with the shipping all the illegals in and shipping the illegals out and keeping them in the hotels, and the child trafficking and all the bullshit that goes on with that. So
nice. What's that called?
That movie is called What is Treason? And there's actually 2 parts. The first one is called Trafficked, as in sex trafficking, child trafficking.
Okay.
And then the second one that I'm actually in is called Invaded, as in invaded. So it's What is Treason Invaded, as opposed to What is Treason Trafficked, which is the other one. And we're actually having the premiere here in San Diego. So if there's anybody out there in San Diego that wants to catch me on X, and we'll get you down there. I think the tickets are only like $25 or something like that. And there's still tickets. The VIP ones are running out. There's some VIP tickets where you get like the book and sign, and you get to meet some of us and this and that. But
Very cool.
yeah, so I'm trying to get some people to go to that. So that'll be pretty cool. So I'm doing a little media tour.
When is the premiere?
The premiere is next Thursday on the 24th, and it'll be starting red carpet 6 and the curtains at 7. So if you guys are down and in the area and you want to hang out, come by. We'll watch the movie. You'll probably go get some drinks or dinner afterwards and shit.
Very cool. Very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, Koi Pond Kid, the very first time on White Rabbit. What the fuck is that, brother?
My first time on any of these.
You've been on many Instagram lives. I always loved your intake, especially when I would do my live shows there before I got the bad boy spanking. I haven't been able to go live in over a year. It's crazy. They gave me one day and I was filming freaking UFOs in the sky, and then they were like, nope, not anymore.
You were filming UFOs?
I was filming UFOs on a live, and then I wasn't able to go live ever since then. So
yeah, I haven't seen it.
I thought they wanted the whole UFO thing to get out there now. Seems like they're like actively allowing it to be a topic nowadays.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I thought was weird. That'd be the least of their worries is UFOs.
Actually, that's just the last live that I was able to go on. I actually fought why I'm not able to. And let's just say if I was in the UK and I asked for a cigarette, that's what word I was using to yeah.
Yeah, the one that just got me struck. Yeah.
You
didn't get struck.
Right there? You
I'm
might.
just giving you shit, brother. I'll probably get struck for that.
Yeah,
no way, dude. I say way worse shit than that on my channel, but
On
I'm not
YouTube,
monetized. So.
YouTube's a little different. It's
you say it on YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube. Oh,
yeah,
I
we're
said
live
way
on
worse
YouTube.
shit on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, we got hit the other day because we said the word that means
the R word. Yeah.
Unwanted sex. And
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't
Oh.
believe we have to do this stuff on a live R
Wow.
word. So breaking.
And it's buried deep in there, dude.
that's why I like being on Rockfin, because I say whatever the fuck I want to.
That's
the
what I'm
things
used
that
to
they say
doing.
Yeah, even the things that they said we're not allowed to talk about when we signed on, I still have done shows on those things and not gotten in trouble for it.
Twitter's
Dude,
wild.
we had a show on Rockfin for a while that was a denial of a certain event that might have happened or not in World War II. We had it on there for a long time, and then all of a sudden it came out that they were axing people for that exact reason, and I'm like, shit, maybe I shouldn't do that. But then I'm like, no, now I'm censoring myself. Fuck that. I'll say whatever
we're
I
all
want.
doing it right now. We're all doing it now. That's pretty gay.
That's gonna change too soon. I'm pretty sure. I've got faith that that's gonna become a thing of the past.
Right,
We'll see.
Well, Tucker Carlson is amping up Parler's big comeback. I know, Tommy, you got some claws in to be one of the main people on that shit. So hopefully that gained some traction. I don't know. They axed Parler before, so I don't really have too much faith in it.
My boy Red Pill, check him out.
Too, like, nobody. I've seen people like just craziest stuff on X. Like,
Hey, I might send him a link. I'm gonna text him right now. Katillist if it's cool.
Yeah,
hardcore anti-Semitic stuff, like literally playing tiny mustache dude videos and all the above and everything, and nobody gets struck. But
don't they allow porn?
Yeah, it's like literally anything you want. I'm surprised there's not more like how to make drugs and stuff on there, like, people with little meth labs that are just like showing you how to like brew meth or something. But
give everyone an idea that has those meth labs.
Well, that's not like, YouTube used to be. I lost my entire YouTube account because I said the word that I think you can say it now on fuck YouTube. It's the pill that you would take instead of the vaccine.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I said that word and they deleted my entire account. I had an account since like the first year YouTube came out.
Yeah, that's
Just
what
because I
happened to
said
me
that. And they never like gave me an option to get it back or get my videos out or anything. Such
Same, bro.
pieces of shit.
Same. And then when I tried to do certain things on YouTube or even certain Google things, it would be like, you do not have permission or authorization. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? But what it was is I interviewed Robert Malone and fucking they axed that shit before nobody even got to finish the interview, man. If I tried to watch it, that's how quickly they axed that my entire account.
Yeah, I can't believe YouTube hasn't like at this point said, okay, well, you know, in retrospect, some of that stuff might have been okay. You guys can have your accounts back if you're good little boys. I mean, can I at least get my videos back to download? Like that was the fact that they did that. That was literally gangsterism because they could have simply said, look, we don't like this video. We're going to delete it or we're going to mute it. But now you delete like hundreds of videos that I have from like art videos and music videos I have from fucking back in the day. That is like the equivalent of a mob boss like killing your cat and leaving it in your bed. Because it's like, tell your friends, don't fuck around. Because what would be in their interest to delete all of my videos? And why would they like punitively damage me to the point to where I couldn't get my own videos back, like download my own videos? Couldn't they have just said,
demoralize you and make you stop? That's exactly why.
And to tell your friends, don't fuck around or you'll lose your whole fucking life. Get it?
Right. And they keep changing the fucking rules halfway through the game too, because things that were okay when we were younger, now all of a sudden they're not okay. And not only that, things that we used to post on these things were okay back then, and now we're getting strikes from them 4 fucking years later. You
YouTube
know?
used to be cool. I fucking hate YouTube now because they destroyed my life. They took away like the videos of my brother's funeral were only saved on YouTube, and I thought they were going to be there forever. And they've just like yoink, nope.
Actually, let me email.
Don't fuck around.
Man, that is
Evil
so fucked up.
Evil bastard.
Yeah, I still have a Facebook account that I can't log into, but for somehow it's like linked up to my Instagram. So everything I post on my Instagram goes to that Facebook account. I just can't log into it. So it kind of sucks.
Yeah. Well, at least it's going there. My Matt Baker Unhinged has been hacked, and it's just a zombie account. It just sits there. I can't get anything on it, off it. I can't interact with it at all. So it sits there. You know,
I sent it to your email, Catalyst.
Yeah,
with a lot of different. It's got a lot of people over there that I lost track of because I can't communicate with them anymore.
Yeah, that really sucks. Have you guys experienced too much? Because you're still on YouTube, right? You guys have been on YouTube the whole time. Legit.
Oh, yeah, but we don't have like a following on there at all. So I don't think they're real worried about us yet. I think if we got a significant following or were monetized, they would probably start paying attention. But for now, we just kind of
most of our stuff's on Rockfin. We just started putting some stuff on YouTube here and there. Just to see. I mean, the show that we do is called Planet Retard. Like, that's the show we put on YouTube. And we just read ridiculous news clips and make fun of everything and say the worst words. And we have not gotten any strikes or anything.
The whole goal with YouTube was to try to see how far we could go and what would get us axed. And we did have one video removed because somebody said something about Bill Gates. And it was funny. It was clearly satirical and a joke. But they immediately, before it even uploaded, removed it and said, no, can't say that. And we're like, and I won't say it here because now I know to watch my mouth, YouTube gods. Sorry about that. But yeah,
isn't it convenient that they have like AI bots that can translate every word that we say and can upload them in, and they can farm out any word that they don't like, and they can just pick it. Like, you know, Alex Jones has said to the point, like they have our voice recognition on all our voices. They could literally ban a particular voice from online, and it would have to be like, "This is Alex Jones. I am here speaking through a voice modulator." Like he would have to.
You could still tell it was him, though.
Yeah. Well, you had to know. It was like, yeah. "This is Alex Jones."
No, but they can't remove certain CP content from platforms, but they can remove you for talking shit on Bill Gates.
Oh yeah,
So
exactly. And they can find it, have a trillion like whores trying to freaking get me to go to their OnlyFans, spamming me constantly, and then I'll block them, and then boop, there's like a new account with the same bitch trying to spam me again, and they can't even recognize that it's the same whore. I'm just like,
well, it's because it's not a bitch, dude. It's actually a dude.
well, it's whatever it is. It's the same image. It should it has image recognition because should be like this woman. This picture of this woman is a spam clickbait image, and it's like the same one. It's like
No, and they know it because they'll put it into
like
the blocked
Maria
request folder.
7382, and now she's like Sarah 4893, pussy in bio, and it's like,
Would you like to see Bob's and Vagine? My name is David. It's like, no, what? And
I
they put
see
it
you
into a different
people.
folder.
We
They
are
put it into a
friends,
different
yes.
folder, like the request folder. It's like blocked request or like hidden requests. And I'm like, why are you hiding these? And they're like, because there might be spam. So I go in there. I'm like, yeah, they're 100% spam. So why are you sending them to me? Like, this is very obviously spam.
Yeah, I know. It's
What
like
the fuck?
might be spam, and it's like, yeah, it's spam.
Yeah. Good call. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's
I
out of
didn't get an answer. I'm gonna steer this away again. What do you guys think our Shocktober event is gonna be?
Well,
I
who
don't
wants to
think
go
you want to
first?
know.
I think it's going to be the Tim Walsh thing. I honestly believe it. I honestly think that there's going to be a bunch of stuff coming out. Kamala's not doing too well anyway, so it's the October surprises might just be that everybody's going to realize she's a moron.
I
You
think
think it's
more
gonna be political?
they cut the benefit cards, let everybody that's illegal loose just to
Yeah.
distract from it.
Oh
That's
man.
it.
Cut the
Yeah.
benefit cards and make them disgruntled. I like that.
That's the next playbook according to General Blaine Holt.
Who's that?
I'm one of my neighbors up here I work with in North Idaho is military retired 2-star general to Air Force Newsmax contributor for all politics and military. And
You
so
heard
he
it here
said-
first, guys. They're cutting the cards, releasing the
says-
hordes.
So he says that's the next thing in the playbook. And you've heard out of New York, they already said there's no money. So they're going to stop benefits. So he says, watch New York, watch Chicago, and then watch Denver. And then that's the playbook coming across the country.
And then what will be the upshot of that as it impacts the election or lack thereof?
Riots.
Then you have the riots, and you can go into martial law and shut down the country and suspend anything because you have 8 to 15 million illegals rioting to feed themselves and their families, allegedly, that are here, and chaos prevails.
Yeah.
Man, this is what I've been calling since November of last year. That late September, early October, I missed my mark. That basically that they would be given. I said that they would be given their marching orders to go violent on American civilians, to create a civil war, to cause enough chaos to not have an election.
Yeah. That sounds pretty feasible too,
Killing Trump theory that they unaliving Trump. Trump's killing it, man. He's killing it. So they got that. But personally, I just feel like the October surprise is old school. It seems to me like every day is an October surprise now.
Yeah,
Every day they hit you with a new one. I mean, like Biden getting removed, that would have been an October surprise. That would have been huge. Trump getting shot the first time, that would have been huge. The second time, that would have been huge. The arrests would have been huge.
Israel taking out the head of Hamas today or whatever. Where's that going to trigger?
Never-ending wars. Keep it. It's just a never-ending. They just keep punching you. It's not like
it's because they've created goldfish memory.
Now they're just like, and people are just up against the ropes, just going, oh, and they just can't take it.
Everybody's already unconscious. They don't need an October surprise anymore. Every other day is another surprise, and then 2 days later, everybody forgets about it because of the other one, and then they're like, we can't keep up. And I think that's orchestrated because nobody gives a shit anymore, including me. I mean, to a fault where I'm like, don't really care about any of this
Nobody gives
anymore.
a shit anymore.
Shut up.
Hey,
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, what if they crash the stock market? What would they have to go to? What extreme that would literally phase anybody with as
Bluebeam.
mind numbed as we are from social media these days?
hey, we got somebody on here. You're missing the point.
What
He's
up, Drew?
like, oh,
It's
how
Drew.
about
Hey, Drew.
Trump wins, but they end up finding a bunch of falsified votes, all voting Trump? I mean,
I guarantee something like that's about to happen. For
that
sure.
would be a good
Remember the 5th of
strategy,
November.
dude. Because they talk about the Democrats talk about stealing the election all the time. That wouldn't be that would be a good strategy on their part to do that. Be like, oh, they're all fake votes.
Well, if you yeah, like I said, and then it becomes a problem, and then they blow something up, and then they say, oh, the Patriots are out of control. Now, thank God we have that law saying that military can come in and crack down and kill civilians, who we just so happen to all have on the list already. And we've got them all tracked on social media for every single level of on the threat scale that they are, and how far and who connected, how connected they are. And then that'll be the end of that. But yeah, so I just think it's a constant rampaging, and I would definitely not. If you just look at every time you look at the left, you're always like, I can't believe they're saying this because they said that, or they're doing this but they're saying that. It's like they always do the exact opposite. So it's like when they're like, I can't believe you did J6, I can't believe you questioned the election, I can't believe, when they just did it. It would be the perfect Democrat move to then just completely do everything that they said that they hated, and then have all of their people. It's almost like a power trip to see how much they can mind control everybody. They're like, let's have everybody say, no, you can't question elections, and now make everybody question elections. Like, it's our duty to question elections. We must question elections. We need to go to, have a J6. And they're like out there doing their whole thing. And like, it's right that we're here. And they'll just completely flip all the meanings of the words of things backward and forward and backward and forward. So it would make perfect sense for them to actually be Trump to win. And if he does, guarantee they are going to be questioning the election. 100%.
It's going to be a J6 times 2, but on the other side, and like you said earlier, you can say the exact same thing, but when it's the other side, they have a different definition. So what in 2020, when they were like, you can't question the election because it was the most secure election ever, how dare you? We could point back to 2016 and say, but wait a minute, you questioned that election to this day, saying it was Russian collusion and that it was a rigged election, but you can't question it in 2020 because this guy won. It's backwards and you can't win. It's a zero-sum game.
You can't win. The electors, like
same with Bush and Gore.
Electors, like
what about
Kennedy,
multiple small-scale grid failures election night, so you can't get the results?
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see all of this. It's almost inevitable.
You know how long
that
it would
there's
take them to get
chaos.
the grid back up? Do you know our transformers come out of China, and it can take 3 years for a large-scale transformer to be made and shipped over here to replace any one of our major county, state transit systems. All you need is a allegedly group of guys with some pew-pews, go put a couple bullets in a couple of them.
Can we not stream on YouTube next time? Because this fucking bullshit drives me talking like babies.
Bro, say whatever you want. We can go ahead and just end it right here on YouTube. And if you guys want
this one, but next time, I mean, it's bad.
You guys want to catch the rest?
If
you guys want to catch the rest of this,
unalived.
If you guys want to catch the rest of this,
go ahead.
I just don't want you guys shut down.
I'm going to mute everybody.
I'm the new guy, so I'm watching what I say.
Yeah, they all the electronics for the power plants are made in China. Did you guys watch Sean Ryan on Julian Dory talk about how they send them over here with push button bugs to turn them on and off when they want to, so they could just push a button and turn them off.
I bet what would happen. I just got a vision in my mind. So you got to send it to China, you got to do this, and they have this whole theory. But I was watching a video of this guy in India rewiring like starter motors, and the guy pulled all the wires out, and he hand straightened all the wires and heated them all up in the fire and cleared all the corrosion off, and then rewound it and restuffed it and re-put it back together, and the thing looked brand new. And the guy did it with a hammer and a file and a fire. Okay, if this shit really goes down, I bet you linemen, welders, plumbers, carpenters, and actual people who know how to get shit done will tear that motherfucker apart, and we will figure out how to fix that bitch right here in America. We will get it done.
Hopefully,
we won't
we
send
see-
it back to China.
we see what's
what can be
happening.
broken in it. Whatever it is, it's either wire, metal, a bolt, whatever it is that's
Magnet,
broken.
yeah.
We put it back together. We'll do it.
That is assuming, Matt, that they don't pull what they're pulling over there in North Carolina and everywhere else where people are trying to get out there. Americans are trying to get out there and help people, and they're actively blocking them from doing
Oh, yeah.
so.
Well,
You guys hear
someone
about the
was saying-
FEMA guy that got his ass kicked?
No.
He was there.
Yeah, he was like the head spokesperson of FEMA or something like that.
Yeah, he was the director of the area he was in, and they kept turning around the trucks, and the locals caught him and gave him a thumping.
Yeah,
It
well,
was
so
crazy.
I actually put this out, and I said before they had the whole fake story about militias going around trying to round up the FEMA people. I said, and I didn't want to be offensive, but I'm like, it is our right as Americans, if we go out packing guns, carrying guns, and we go to save people and someone wants to physically stop us, then we could defend ourselves. I wouldn't be going out to attack them. I'd be like, okay, dude, well, we're going to save Granny. You want to shoot me? Now we're going to have a problem. So we're just going to do this until we hear better. And the militia should go out and just save the people if they need saving. And then if the government wants to fire upon them, then I think the people have the right to return fire. So I'm definitely not calling for violence. But when it comes to save, like if there's a burning building, I had this argument with my leftist ex-girlfriend. She's like, oh my God. I'm like, first of all, there's no story about anyone actually getting hurt. So what is this a real story? It sounds like more Democrat propaganda. And then second of all, if you were in a burning building and you go up to the fire chief, you're like, you're screaming out of the building, even my ex-girlfriend, leftist, I'd still save her. I still would save her. She'd be like, oh my God, help me. And they're like, we don't have the permit here, sir. You can't go in there. We don't have a permit. I'd be like, fuck you. And I would go in. I mean, you're just gonna let someone burn to death in a fire just because there's no permit or there's no like order or something like that. That's the same situation. So when it's something like that and American people are there and we can help, it is our duty and we should go. And if they really want to open fire on us, then what better way to start a revolution than have them firing on American people, try to save their fellow Americans that are dying. So
check this out.
If they wanted to shoot at people.
Speaking of militias, the Senate passed a bill. Now, I think they're trying to circumvent the Second Amendment by doing this, right? They passed a bill making private paramilitary or militias illegal. It's passed in the Senate. If it passes the House, so a well-regulated militia, as it says in the Second Amendment, well, if you make militias, a well-regulated militia, illegal, even though they don't know what it means, because the militia is just every man capable of fighting. But so they're going to circumvent 2A. If the House passes that, then then militias are illegal. 2A is illegal. Well, I don't know, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, that goes.
Well, they passed it.
No, I know. I'm just saying when it comes to enforcing it and Second Amendment and Supreme Court and how it actually goes when they try to implement it and different things like that. We'll see.
Well, like Matt was saying, it's going to depend on the people, and if it comes down to that's illegal, they'll find out if it's illegal or not when they come and try to do what Matt was talking about. Where you're coming onto my place and we're trying to protect Nana now. Yeah. We'll see how illegal this is.
No, it's like I say, you would have to be the better man and get shot or have them shooting at you and be like, okay, now I'm defending myself. You know,
that might be what it takes.
Yeah.
That's the worst outcome. The worst possible outcome is an outbreak of violence. I think is the worst possible outcome. I think there's other ways to do it, but the second, I just saw that as them trying to circumvent the Second Amendment through legislation.
Well, they do that that's all they do. I mean,
well, of course,
Kamala Harris coming out saying she's like, oh, we're definitely gonna have buybacks and they're gonna be mandatory. And then she's like, I'm not coming for you. What are you talking about? I'm a gun owner. I have a Glock. It's like,
well, that's a great impression.
There is a better outcome to violence, and it's called vote harder. If there's a takeaway, people, it is vote harder. Okay, that'll fix everything.
Get out there and help other people get there too. You know.
And how about that DOD directive where they can use the military to unalive citizens?
We opened the show with it. We opened the show with it.
We were talking about that earlier,
Right.
and it's very
Hydroxychloroquine.
yeah, hydroxychloroquine.
We got subsection C is the part that I was trying to knock down.
Due to the Supreme Court ruling a couple weeks back that none of those derivatives and three-letter rules are relevant because it has to go through Congress. So that's why I'm asking your guys.
Well, so they don't. Well, go ahead, Katillist.
It doesn't pass then, because what we were saying, or what they were saying earlier, is basically it has to be approved by the current administration, and it was, and that is perfect timing. What up, for a friend? And that is perfect timing, because if they're going to stop payment to these illegals and create hostility, then
or claim the election was stolen or steal it.
What do you think? What if they're going to create hostility, Katillist? What were you saying? I was sorry about that.
The fact that they have the order to kill citizens on American soil. Yeah.
Right, because Matt was saying right now it's fairly peaceful.
And it's not like shit's going crazy. Like, why have they done it if they're not planning something popping off?
Right.
Well, if you look at it, I mean, no matter who wins, it's going to be claimed to be a stolen election, guaranteed.
Right, and they've already said there's not going to be a peaceful transfer of power. So what does that mean? Does that mean
they already created a law saying if it's too much foreign interference, then we will just null and void whoever the victor is. So they just come in and say, well, we declare that there's too much Russian interference and Donald Trump is not the president. Done. And then Biden gets bumped off, and then Camel Toe becomes the president, and we're off to the races. You know, basically the only reason they put Camel Toe in was to make the stealing of the election plausible, because even the Democrats were starting to get would have been like, really? He won with how many votes? I don't know, man. Did you vote for him? No, I didn't. And then they put her in. They're like, everyone's so excited about Kamala. Everyone loves her, and they're like, she won. It's amazing. It's like
so much joy.
Yeah,
I thought it was because all the money was allocated through her and Biden that they couldn't transfer it.
That was part of it. That was definitely part of it. Yeah.
So that was like they didn't want to put her in. They
could have kept Biden in there. You know. But
it appears that Kamala is working against herself recently. It's almost as if she is campaigning for Trump.
Absolutely.
The shit that she says it's just ridiculous.
Not to the leftists, man. Whatever she says, they think is awesome. A true leftist just buys
I doubt that seriously.
No, you should. You know what? You should really talk to this guy that I used to make music with, because he buys everything that they say, hook, line, and sinker.
My ex-girlfriend, she called me up. She's like, I'm worried about Trump, and I'm like, oh God, please, we're just gonna end up arguing. Like, I went to the funeral of her dad, and we were like friendly again. It was great because during COVID, we were just arguing like crazy over the lockdowns and everything, and the vaccine and the masks. And at a certain point, so then her dad dies, and I was friends with him. So we went up and we're like, okay, we just put that all behind us. Now we're friendly. It's good. And she starts with the politics again. I'm just like, oh God. And she hit me with every single one in the book. And it was so annoying because I was just like, she's like, well, he did this. And then I give her the, he grabbed her by the pussy, grab her by the pussy. He said, no, he said, let you grab by the pussy. And I'm like, I grabbed you by the pussy in case you forgot. You're like, we were dating. I'm like, are you sure it was like that? Were we dating and I grabbed you by the pussy, or did I grab you by the pussy and then we started dating? Because I remember it differently. Okay,
could have been both.
I'm not saying which one it was.
Well, you're talking about people buying up every little thing they say. So we have one of two options in my view. They either do because they're that fucking stupid, or they act like they do because they have to, because they're towing the line. It's one of those two. Either way, they're fucking stupid. So
Kamala, the shit Kamala says now is so dumb. Every time she gets on TV and opens her mouth, what she says is so fucking stupid. You have to be dumber than her to not see that. You see
It
what I'm
almost
saying?
makes
So
me want
she's
to
losing
unalive
people.
myself.
They look at
It
the
makes me
Brett
want to
Baer
unalive
thing,
myself.
and the
Dude,
women
her
are like,
interview
"Oh, a
yesterday
man
swung
is
4
trying to
points in
oppress
Vegas.
her."
What happened in Vegas?
Her interview yesterday swung the polls in Vegas 4 points.
Yeah, right. That wasn't the Brett Baer. Brett Baer wasn't
Yeah.
yesterday. It was. Yeah, no, she acted like it. She was a complete idiot. That's all bullshit media lies. It swung the freaking it swung it hold on a second.
Sorry, I didn't mean to disrupt the
In
flow.
reality, nothing matters until the last week, because even if you listen to Roger Stone and everything, it's like it's such a weird game they play where you want to be kind of the underdog till the very last minute and be like, oh, they're triumphing. You don't want to be triumphing the whole time. You want to be up, then a little down, and then the triumph. So the October surprise, there could be something.
That good? That
Problem
good right
is they've
there?
hit
Right about
Trump with so many things: rape and murder and the fucking stealing money and the J6. Like, there's nothing they can really throw.
You just
at
said the
us.
R word.
Hey,
We're
check
not
this.
on YouTube.
My buddy,
Oh,
my
okay.
buddy Red Pill's
Right.
about to hop on. This
Oh, cool.
dude, he's a monster. We'll
Ev-
get his take real quick because we only got him for about 5 or 10 minutes. But this dude is a monster, and he's a parlor guru. So he should be hopping on any second. But I just wanted to put that out there real
All
quick
right.
because we'll only have him for a few minutes.
Quick question for you guys. We can set him up with this. What do you guys think on that third shooter that he had just done a documentary on the three-letter agencies, the cabal, going against the Bundy family, I believe back in Oregon, where we had that shootout with the federal government. And then they pushed Almond Bundy out of Idaho, who ran for governor in the last election.
Yeah, the whole thing was BS. I know people that know the guy personally. He had 2 passports because he's a dual citizen Canadian. The guns were actually legal guns. He declared the guns. They said he had a fake pass. The pass was real. He's been a Trump supporter. He was invited to the event. The whole thing was fake and hyped up. And I was one of the first people to help get that out because I know people that there's a guy named Michael
there he is.
Corey, and he actually did a documentary with him, and so he knew him personally, and he called me right away. He's like, "This is BS," and then as a result, it all started falling apart. He was
okay. Yeah,
he even
Bundy came out.
Yeah,
Bundy came out yesterday and came to his side and said, "Hey, he was just sitting on my mom and dad's couch last week, doing the interview and wrapping up the last of this documentary they put out like 3 days before that rally, and all of a sudden now he's criminal number 1."
Angel, you in here?
He's fine.
Yeah, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's up?
I'll be right back.
All right. So Catalyst had a crazy question. What's the October surprise going to be, brother? What do you think it's going to be?
Man, bro. I mean, I hope it's aliens so I can check off my bingo card, bro.
Yeah.
Fake alien invasion. Yeah, why not, man? I don't think they got enough bandwidth to cheat this time around, so they got to pull some kind of a Hail Mary,
Yeah. One of the things that's been going on through here right in this conversation is a lot of people think that it's going to be some sort of a civil unrest based on that DOD directive being signed by the Biden administration. The one authorizing lethal force.
Yeah.
You read that?
September 27th.
No, I actually have not read that yet.
I'll send it. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it over to me, man.
I'm curious because you're in the know. Where are you at right now? Are you back in the United States?
Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, okay, cool. So have you heard or in the loop about them pulling funds from the illegals now? So they're gonna cut all their funding off?
Yeah, that's kind of like a few months ago. I had seen someone talking about that, and I said, yeah, it makes perfect sense because you already have a lot of people that they came here from a place where destabilization has caused that kind of chaos before. Then you put them prop them up in a position where, they're getting the rent for free. They're getting free money. There's that one story that went viral. That guy that left behind the food stamp card receipt and had like $13,000 in food stamps. And you just imagine they come here thinking that they're going to have this forever. And even with all that, they're still out here, taking over apartment complexes and eating cats, right?
Yeah.
And then you take all that stuff away from them, and they do what it is that they know how to do, which is what they've seen happen in their home country. Because now they don't have anything to fall back on. The only safety net they had was Plan A: come here and get free shit.
Yeah.
Well, do you think that was the plan from the beginning, to get them all over here to create the uncivil rest? Or
there's literally no other catalyst, or there's no other reason why you would
Jones
migrate
looks
a
up.
whole
He's like,
bunch
"What do you
of
mean? There's no
people.
other catalyst?"
Like,
See what
there's
he
no
did there?
other
What?
there's no other reason why you would import that number of people from destabilized economies without it being that was the intent from the get-go. Like, it's not even a question as
it
to
was obvious from the beginning to us that we're paying attention to, and it's just now starting to become a thing that normies are talking about, or even raising an eyebrow to. If we're lucky, they are.
Well, I used to tell the people like this, like, they're not importing people, they're importing policy, right? I mean, you take a look at what's going on in the countries where a lot of these people are coming from. They're not just bringing the people over, they're bringing the culture over. When they do it by these means, where they're not assimilating, they're not going through the proper immigration channels. And I'm pro immigration. I'm cool with somebody that wants to come here and become an American. But there's people that just want to come to America. They don't want to become American. If they just come to America, just like what happened in a lot of European countries, they just opened up the floodgates and let people just come into the country, not become part of the country. And the thing is that America is very different in respect to that with other countries. Because if you're a person of like Turkish descent, you go to Sweden. I don't care if you're a third generation Sweden. If you're brown, you're a Turk. It doesn't matter. You can't become a Swedish person. It's a homogenous ethno state. You come to America, you can become American day one. You just follow you follow the laws. You assimilate. You take the test. You pay your stupid little fee, and you become American. The moment you become an American, you're viewed as an American.
Well,
it's not an ethno state. But when
you're assuming they want to become citizens. You're not thinking that these are sleeper cells from Hezbollah, IRGC, Somalis, you name it. They're here, according to General Holt.
Yeah, because they're just circumventing that whole process of going.
They've literally brought in multiple different militant cells from all the global terrorist units, and they are now working together to. That's what the thing is they're going to uprise against us. That's what I'm saying is the October.
Yeah, no, I mean it's reasonable to assume when you look at the sheer number that have actually been caught and are confirmed to have been part of terrorist organizations in their home country. So if you take a look at the number that have been caught versus just take a look at the overall general number of immigrants, okay? And these migrants, the percentage that have been caught reflect a larger percentage, a larger number of those who have not been caught. If we say that the ratio is like the same for the people coming in that have terrorist ties, then take a look at the number have been caught and then multiply that by like 100. That's how many of them are already in the country.
Yeah. That makes sense.
One of my friends that's going to be down at the premiere, she actually found a dog tag down at the border, and it was in Arabic, and I put it on Google Translate, and it literally said Muslim soldier.
Yep.
On it, and it actually was a Muslim soldier dog tag down at the border. So, but honestly, everyone says, "Is this what they're doing? Is that what they're doing? Are they doing this? Are they doing that?" They're doing all of it. Like they're watering down the whiteness of America. They're stealing the vote. They're creating a Cloward and Piven situation with the handouts and all of the what do we call it? I'm getting tired.
It's all good. Well, the trafficking is a big part of it as well.
But they with the welfare state. That's Cloward and Piven. Is the whole point of destroying the government was to make it so many handouts, so much welfare that it would actually collapse the system and cause them to have to reboot and rebuild a new system. So they're going to do that. And then they're going to have the hordes of the different people. Then they're also dividing and conquering. And then they're ideological subverting us. And they're demoralizing us. They're destroying the vote. They're destroying the language. They're destroying the borders.
And don't forget about the erasure
every single
of national identity in the process. It's not even just a watering down of the whiteness. They're doing it to everybody, because even in my community, they're trying to redefine what it is to be like a Hispanic in America.
Yeah, they're doing it.
But realistically, it's happening in white
government
countries.
going to come and tell
If you go to
any of us
Mexico,
who we
there's
are?
not a bunch of foreigners, except for Americans coming down there, like trying to buy up all the stuff. There's that.
I don't
they have a strong sense. So they have a strong sense of cultural identity. We're losing.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
No,
Not
but what
the
I'm
color.
saying is if you go to a country like Mexico, they might be trying to take over the cultural identity because you're in America, but they're particularly focusing on Western white countries. That's where they're Ireland, England, France, Germany, Sweden, which is already done. Sweden's completely over with. It's
Ireland
not
and UK is what's coming here. That's the test run.
Yeah. And so there's no hordes of Africans coming that are being moved into Mexico to undermine Mexico. Now, because you're in America, they are undermining your communities too, and that people are starting to catch on. But they're focusing their beams of the human traffic at these specific locations, being mostly white countries.
Well, I mean, take it as a compliment. It just means that they're not importing people from white countries that have been destabilized, because white people make shit that works.
No, it's not a compliment. I'm just saying they're attacking.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying it as a joke. But in reality, that's
areas.
the thing, is that in the end of the day, they have to really destroy any sense of cultural or natural identity.
But they're not trying to destroy Mexican. Like if I go down to Mexico, and
That's not the point he's trying to make. That's not the point he's trying to make.
Why are you shouting at me?
Oh, sorry.
They're shouting.
Yeah, look, the mic there, Tommy.
What?
Sorry.
I've been down to Mexico, and they're not they travel through Mexico and they come to America. They're not like, hey, we're in Mexico and now we're undermining your culture. Now we're taking over your thing. You don't get to vote anymore. You don't get to do this. We're invading all of your schools. We're bringing in African people in Mexican schools. That's not happening. It isn't happening. It's only happening in the white countries. That's happening. That's
I know.
To
That's
be honest, Mexico wouldn't really stand for that anyway.
And my wife is Mexican, so don't worry.
Yeah, they do more to protect their own than America is, because here people are we've become too comfortable. I think we're just a generation of people here.
They get away with it. They go, well, you're racist, so you can't do it. There's no reason.
Yeah,
they want
to
undermine a particular demographic in the world, and that's where the attack is. It's coming from there, and it's being beamed directly at England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, France, Germany. There's a particular direction that it's thrust in. The punch is going.
Well, that's what I'm saying, bro. Developed countries, like literally, bro.
China? Are they sending them to China? Are they sending them to Japan?
China will execute them.
No.
Yeah.
China will execute them. That's why.
They are undermining the white Christian world.
I think this was I kind of it was going.
Blue Star president down in Mexico.
It was kind of going. I think we got way off track on that one, because it is Angel's right.
The back and forth is good, and honestly, you guys are saying. I understand where Matt is coming from, because it's a different battle that he is talking about, and it is a biblical battle where Matt is coming from, and I totally get it. And if you don't understand that biblical battle, then it just is what it is. And
it's not
you
even
guys
biblical. It's
well, I understand. It's getting rid of a certain blood. It's getting rid of
countries that are being attacked. And if you can't admit that, then you've just got your head up your ass.
Well, that's kind of where we got off track, because
for some reason you want to pretend it's everywhere. It's happening everywhere all the time. It's not. And
that's not what anybody's saying.
I love Mexico.
It's the white angle of
it's just a reality.
Europe and America is where you're seeing it hit.
Yeah, and so I'm sit here pretend or get angry because I'm pointing it out, which I don't know why.
No one's angry.
You're shouting at me now, and
I just get it. I was just the mic.
North America,
pointing out the reality.
You aren't seeing it in Australia. You aren't seeing it in Africa.
You don't
aren't
see it in
seeing
Mexico. You don't see it in Brazil. You don't see it in
Central
Argentina.
America,
They're not
Okay.
doing it.
South America.
Hold on a
No.
second. That's not. I understand and I agree with you. I got you. But what kind of the? I think we got a little off track there.
Off what
I mean,
track?
I'm not saying you're wrong at all. So I'm not
Why
even.
are we
It's
off
not even.
track? Because somehow or another I tried to say that it's being directed at
No.
a specific group.
No.
Why are we off track?
We're talking about the immediate right here. What was I think you're taking it wrong because I'm not tripping on you or nothing. If I was, I would say I'd be
I
like,
just don't know why.
yeah,
It's an obvious fact. It's an obvious fact.
So
gone, but because everyone's like, no, don't say that. Ah!
That's
Then now
not what I was
it's
saying, and I've already conceded that.
Okay.
No. Basically, Matt, it's the Christ-based countries that they're taking over with the Islamic-based countries, which happen to be also the Caucasian-colored people.
Oh, it's that.
And the developed countries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's developed
There are other developed countries that are not white. They're not doing it to them.
Because those countries would not stand for it. I mean, like you're not going to have an influx of people going into Dubai. They're not going to. Their people aren't going to allow that
because the attack started
or
long time ago.
Or China. In China,
then,
they literally will execute you. You know what I'm saying?
Because the ideological subversion has been working on us, and we've been demoralized because we told it's bad to stand up for ourselves. We told it's bad to care about your country. It's bad to be Christian. It's bad.
Yeah, and Europe has been exposed to that for a long time too. Yeah, especially.
So as a result, everybody was like, "Well, hey, I'm not. No, I like. Oh no, I'm okay. I mean, I like gays. I like this. I mean, I want." And so as a result, we've been cucked so long that now it's gotten to the point to where we're literally getting overrun. And now the people that are overrunning us are voting us out. They're like, "No, we're running shit now." And we're like, "Oh," we're just basically dying on the vine, and people are just going to pretend it's not attacking a specific thing. And yes, it is our fault for being weak. So I'm trying to be strong about it, and that's all.
Well, the reason Dubai hasn't had it is because they're Islamic based. So right now, what they're doing is the Islamic religion replacing the Judeo-Christian values that have been around the globe for ages, and we're seeing the next revolution of spiritual battle on a religious front globally.
Yeah. Especially
certain religions are more conducive to allowing like supreme leaders and stuff like that, as opposed to the American egalitarian, rules-based like law and courts and all this stuff. That type of stuff is in the way of the so-called New World Order.
If you go
and
to
that's
Dubai
why they want those type of people out.
And steal a person to buy, you better be prepared for either getting whacked or a long prison sentence.
They'll take your hand.
Yeah, they'll chop your hand off, bro.
They'll chop your hand off. It's Sharia law. No, they cut your hand off.
That's why that they don't go to those places. Best believe if people could go, subvert in Abu Dhabi and get that oil money, they would, but they can't because they don't.
But no, what we're saying is the countries under attack of England, Ireland, Germany, France. It's the Muslims coming in and attacking those countries.
And it's also the NGOs shipping them directly there.
Yeah,
it's like people in Africa aren't like, I want to move to Dublin. They don't even know what Dublin is. They get them on the ship and they're like, hit Dublin hard. Ireland's falling.
I don't give a shit about Europe.
Yeah, those
people. I really don't.
Well, I do. I got family over there. I actually went to school in Ireland, and I went to school in England, and my dad lives in Ireland, so I do care.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And they're getting fucked hard, and it's almost a losing battle at this point. They've got them in such a corner where if they don't go like full freaking out of control, like Reich level, they will be replaced and destroyed, and eventually the other side will get up, and they'll end up picking all of the indigenous white people out of the
indigenous population, and they will replace them under the Sharia law, like they're going to do here.
I take that back.
So
I do give a shit about Europe, but what I'm trying to, I'm more worried about us in the
like
immediate.
The Muslims get pissed. You say the reason why they're not getting
about what's happening
is because they're getting pissed. I'm trying to get pissed, and you're saying don't get pissed. So how are we going to win?
Who said don't get pissed?
Well, when I'm pointing out what's happening, you're like, no, come on, man, we're getting off the rails.
That's not what I was doing, bro.
I don't know.
I think you misunderstood what I was trying to get at right there, and that's
All right.
fine.
Well, I'm
It's
tired.
not
I'm
that big a
tired. I
deal.
got to do a podcast early in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you guys.
Can't hear
Sorry,
you,
I didn't mean to
Catalyst.
get worked up. I really dug
Can't
some of
hear
the
you.
stuff you were saying, and I'd like to get on here with you guys again sometime. Maybe
Oh,
if I could. It was cool because people were digging it, streaming over.
My
on my
bad, you guys. I
Hell yeah.
didn't know I was muted when I jumped back on.
Oh,
But
I didn't even notice.
Matt, I appreciate you, brother, for jumping on here with us. And you're going to
Yeah.
be on Infowars in the morning, correct?
Yeah, 8 o'clock Pacific, and yeah, I need to get some sleep. It's been a long day. But,
Yeah, it's good going face to face with you. I haven't talked to you since talkie time.
Oh, with
Yeah, when I
what's
was
his
trying to
name?
help get everybody in for Seth's birthday and stuff. That's how far back, it's been since last I talked to you. You were blowing the glass for, was it Valerie Babbitt?
Ashley Babbitt.
Ashley, yeah. That's the last time we chatted. You were blowing the glass for her.
Yeah, that's
then I
cool, man.
lost
I'm
track
actually
of you.
sitting in that studio right now. My podcast is also a glass blowing studio. It's kind of like what Catalyst has got going on over there.
I'm on the couch studio. This is it.
I know, I like it. It's good.
I don't have the
Hells
fancy
yeah.
equipment.
So I apologize for getting worked up. It's good to have a spirited debate. We're in a crazy time, and I'm definitely getting a little cranky here. So I'm gonna head off. Are you guys planning on being on much longer?
No,
Few
I'm
more
actually.
minutes.
I'm getting ready to wrap it up here myself. I just wanted to go around the horn here and get some last thoughts from everybody.
Okay, we can do that. We'll do it properly.
Right on, brother. So why don't we end it or let you go ahead and take the floor then? I like to leave everybody with some positive thoughts. So maybe something that you have in your personal life that you have to look forward to, or something positive you think we have as a win coming in the future.
Well, I think the fact that we're still alive right now and that the universe is still clicking and time still exists and, we're not burning in hell at this specific moment, I think it's great. I think the universe was designed in a specific way that maybe there must be some reason why all this is happening, and that as weird as things look, there will be some door will open and there will be a way out. And in the future, I have a lot of cool projects coming on. I have my health, my wife is healthy, and everyone around me is happy, and we're doing all right. So other than that, keep your eyes on the prize and watch your six, and keep these open debates rolling, and everybody remember that life is precious.
Love it, brother. And everybody listening, or if you're watching on Rockfin later, go ahead and scroll down and click the link that says everything Matt Baker and be able to follow everything that he is doing. Brother, I appreciate you. Thank you again for jumping on, and we'll get you on the main show here pretty soon. Koi Pond Kid, brother, you hopped in a little late, but always love your take. Go ahead and anything you want to plug away, and then something positive to end us on.
Well, as the rookie here, it only took me a half hour to figure out the technology. The positive is God wins in the end. So no matter how much these demonic forces want to throw it at us, the truth is, God wins in the end. So we're already on the winning side no matter what. We just have to wait till the credits roll and see how it plays out. In reality, I mean, I'm good. I'm up North Idaho. I'm out in the woods, got my wood fire going. So if power goes out, solar generator, got some deer in the yard, I'm in an okay situation up here. I worry about my relatives down south in Cali and Arizona and Texas and the more populated places that don't, it's like I say, when the Tren de Agua guys and stuff start popping off, it's not going to be, I think we're in for a roller coaster November to January, no matter who wins. Things are going to start November 7th, November 6th. That's when the fireworks for 4th of July starts. And they aren't going to stop until whoever gets in mid-January. That's my thought on it. But we got each other. COVID, they gave us these opportunities, these groups. We've built friendships. We've built communities. We're better prepared now. We're better educated. So, we're going to make it, guys. That's all there is to it.
Love it.
Awesome.
Love it, brother. Thank you for joining. And Gold Pills, you had to jump in here a little late, and I love that you were able to bring some fire and heat to the conversation. Before I let you plug away, I want to ask you personally, do you think we are even going to have an election?
Yes. Yeah, I believe the election is going to take place. Although there's definitely going to be turbulence, and I don't want to be the guy that says the cliche thing saying this is the most important election of all time, because every election is the most important election of all time because it is the one that is happening right now. But there's definitely going to be some major turbulence. However, I have a lot of I have a real positive outlook about things because I know that there's been a huge shift in something that hasn't happened before, such as a lot of times the independent crowd is growing, and with an independent candidate, they get like maybe an extra 5-10% more than they had each previous election. And this one was pretty big because of Bobby Kennedy Jr. But the thing is that he did something that we were anticipating, which was dropping out of the race and endorsing Trump at the last minute. And even though it's not going to really bring all of the people back that were going to vote, in most cases, historically speaking, the independent candidate steals more from the Republican Party than they do from the Democrat Party. So that's a major shift right there. I kind of called it. I actually messaged a friend of mine a few weeks before it happened. I had some inside information about that. I was actually writing policy initiatives for the Kennedy campaign for his for the Latino community and stuff. And I was working with a buddy of mine on that, and we already had inside information knowing that he was going to drop out, join forces with Trump, and some of our policy initiatives might actually spill over into the Trump camp. So we were kind of excited about that. But before it all went down, I kind of told a friend of mine, I said, if it does happen the way that we are being told it's going to happen, it's going to be a major shift in the way the election is going to turn out, because the sheer number of votes stolen from the Republican Party by independent candidates could be enough to push them over the edge, and it could make a difference that it's a big enough of a number that there's not enough cheating that can be done to make up for that. And what I mean by that is, look at all the stops that they pulled out in the 2020 election. I spoke with Senator Borelli here in Arizona. He told me personally that the auditors had discovered over 250,000 ballots that were not signature verified. That one game change in the 11th hour gave the Biden administration what they needed, the Democrats what they needed to put Biden in office, and he only won this state by 11,000 votes. So you think about the sheer number of cheating of ballots that they had to pass through, they didn't pass the vibe check that they still had to count in order to get them to win. I don't think they got that kind of juice this time around, especially not with Kamala, and especially not with that large number of the independent votes shifting over to support Trump because they're following Bobby Kennedy. And he's probably, it looks like, you get Trump, you're not just getting Trump. You vote for Trump this time around, you're getting Trump. You're getting Vivek Ramaswamy. You're getting Robert Kennedy Jr. You're getting Tulsi Gabbard. You're getting J.D. Vance. So to me, it's
Elon Musk.
Very positive.
Yeah. And
Hey, Goldfield, by the way, you're very, very intelligent. And what is your X account? Do you have one?
On X, I only have one account. It's Disrupt with Angel. I'm actually editor-in-chief for Disrupt Magazine. So also very big in entrepreneurialism, tech, cryptocurrency, blockchain, decentralization, Web 3.0, you name it. I don't really have a lot of followers on social media on those accounts, but you can reach out to me at any time. Disrupt with Angel.
At Disrupt with Angel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're very, 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 very intelligent.
Love it. See, we can all come together here.
Appreciate it.
And
by the way, I'm super pumped on Kennedy getting in. I actually shook Kennedy's hand, and he's a very chill dude, and he stood up during the COVID situation, and I hope eventually he could talk some sense into Trump and start rounding up Fauci and the boys for what they did.
Yeah, it sounds like he's already had some pretty deep conversations with them. I'm really plugged in. We're actually having a town hall. I'm part of a Latino conservative super PAC.
Yeah.
And
I'm all about the Latinos, just so you know.
You said your wife was Mexican. I was going to say, man, you check out latinotownhall.org. We're hosting a virtual town hall event with Bobby in Miami in a couple of weeks. It was put on hiatus right now because his mother passed away. but we plan on getting back on track pretty soon here. So at some point it'll happen. But we're really excited to be working with him, man. And I'll do my best if you ever want to try to be a part of one of our events or get him on a podcast or something. I'll see what I can do. But he's an awesome guy and he's doing great things. He's standing up for all the right reasons. I don't agree with him on every policy, but man, we need people that are like bold enough to stand up and speak the truth. And I think he's that kind of person. So I definitely think he's been talking some sense to Trump. I know on a recent podcast, he mentioned that him and Trump had a conversation about when Trump first got into office, and he as a president, you got like 14,000 appointments to make. So he just trusted. He did what any person in that position would do. I can't blame him. He trusted the people that had more experience than him and ended up putting a lot of people in office that he shouldn't have put in office. He admitted to Bobby that a lot of them were bad people and he wasn't making that mistake around. So seeing him kind of positioning people around.
They're bad people.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm happy to see him kind of like bringing people around himself that are obviously really smart, obviously got love in their heart for their fellow countrymen. I'm really excited about Vivek Ramaswamy, man. I love that guy. I think he's brilliant. I don't know if any of you guys have read any of his books, but
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he wrote a book called Capitalist Punishment. How Wall Street is using your money to form a country that you didn't vote for. And just the title of the book was enough to get my attention. I was like, yeah, this sounds like someone I need to pay attention to. So, but I'm glad him and Bobby and Tulsi and everyone's kind of entering into the Trump camp, dude. Like, I can't wait to see him start appointing them to positions in his cabinet and see what the outcome of that's going to be.
I hope he gets some shit done this time. I want to see some action Jackson. I'm looking it up here. I can't find DISRUPTWITHANGEL.
Yeah, that's on Instagram and X. That's my name. Let me log in. Let me
follow you. I really want to follow you. I'm on an X.
I think I got an X account like 3 days ago.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. X was the one that I made different. It's disrupt_editor, and then it's my name, Angel Fryo. So disrupt_editor on X.
Disrupt. Okay, good. Okay.
Awesome. So I'm also going to have that in the show notes. If you guys want to scroll down, that'll be live linked as well for those of you just listening later on. And man, Gold Pills, I love your take. You did leave us on a positive note. And I just want to add on top of that last time around, everybody was talking about do something. But this time around, I personally know so many people that are going out there and being poll watchers. And that is huge. Just that alone, just the fact that and being trained on what to look for and what they're allowed to say and what not to say and what they should say and point out. So I think that just we have that, not to mention because of Dinesh D'Souza's movie that he dropped, we also have people paying attention to these drop boxes as well. So we made it very hard for them. However, these illegals, I'm not so sure that they're not just go ahead and registering to vote at the DMV. I don't know, but we'll see. We got like everybody kind of agrees, we got a bumpy road ahead of us. Tommy Prophet, brother, I didn't mean to leave you out. I'm saving the best for
it's all
last.
good.
So go ahead and plug away, guys, and then we'll go ahead and call it a night and dip out of here.
Yeah, it's at Tommy Prophet on Instagram, at the Tommy Prophet on YouTube. I think X is it's like I got a weird one on X. It's at the number 1 Tommy_Prophet PROFIT. That's me on X. Check me out. I got some smart Alex shit to say, and I hope we get on the right path here real quick. I'll give you Angel. I'll give you a buzz as soon as we drop off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
awesome,
right
man. I appreciate everybody.
Appreciate you.
Love
Tommy,
it, man.
nice to meet you finally.
Hey, this is fun, dude. Let's do it again.
Absolutely. And you know how we end everything over here at White Rabbit. Keep digging down those rabbit holes.
Woo!
Thank you for listening to Legit Bad. Please address all content grievances to gofuckyourself@yourmom.com. See you next week.